One Piece Chapter 1143 might set up Luffy vs Loki. Ever since the start of One Piece's Elbaf arc, fans have been lucky to receive many bombshell reveals in almost every chapter. From the confirmation of the long-standing theory of Shanks having an evil twin to the Harley texts and Elbaf mural delivering perhaps the greatest lore drop in the entire series to date, this arc has already cemented its place as arguably the best in the series despite being in its infancy. One of the most important mysteries that has still gone unanswered has to do with Loki, the accursed prince. Every single panel that he has been in has hinted at the reveal of his devil fruit and his eventual showdown against Luffy, so let's go over how One Piece Chapter 1143 will likely usher in the start of this battle and what it means for the rest of the arc, a duel between two sun gods. How Chapter 1143 will set up Luffy vs Loki. The start of the Elbaf arc was one for the history books since it provided a lot of context to the story and all the biggest players on the island of the giants. This is where Loki becomes one of the central focuses of the story arc, since he is shown as someone who is incredibly powerful and also a huge threat to the island. The biggest reasons why this was due to Loki's mischievous personality and the fact that he ate the legendary sun god devil fruit. Now, Loki talking about being a sun god took everyone by surprise, since fans have known ever since Wano that Luffy is the true inheritor of Nika's will. Luffy's previously thought Paramesha fruit was, in truth, the Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika, the same devil fruit that had allowed its previous users to transform into the legendary sun god who went around the world spreading laughter and liberating oppressed people. From the very start of the Elbaf arc, fans knew that this would set Luffy and Loki on a collision course against one another. I am the sun god who will bring about the end of the world. In Chapter 1141, Luffy and Zoro managed to unlock most of Loki's shackles, presumably allowing him to stand for the first time in 6 years. The following chapter finally showed the accursed prince in some sort of action, since he took his hammer, Ragnir, and struck the Atom Tree, spreading lightning and fire to its base, which are its two primary weaknesses. This is why Chapter 1143 seems to be the perfect setup for Luffy and Loki's battle. Although Loki is mostly free now, he still has one remaining shackle locked onto his ankle that suppresses his ability to use his devil fruit power. However, he's free to use Ragnir, with which he currently seems to be causing a ton of damage to the Atom Tree. Here, either Luffy will have to go up against the villain while he is chained up, which is something he would never do, or he will have to free Loki from the final Seastone chain shackle. Knowing Loki's disposition and personality, once freed from the final shackle, he will finally show the world just what makes him such a threat by fully realizing his devil fruit power, making him a massive threat to the well-being of Elbaf. This will be the final straw, as seeing such wanton and ceaseless destruction spread through Loki's rage will finally have Luffy engage the accursed prince in a fight. Here, the two wielders of legendary sun god fruits will finally battle. Due to the build-up and nature of Loki's fruit, this will most likely be a power that will equal Luffy's own sun god Nika powers, leading the hero to an incredible fight against the only other person in the world with an equally strong devil fruit ability. Seeing how this is being hyped up, it's very likely that Luffy's eventual clash with Loki will be one of One Piece's best fights, the eventual outcome of the brawl. How will this fight end? The two sun god devil fruit users will fight. However, Luffy will likely end the battle upon seeing Loki's true nature. The battle between these two users of god fruits has been teased ever since the start of the Elbaf arc. However, it's highly improbable that this will be a fight to the death, since many fans believe that Loki will end the arc as a good guy on the side of the heroes fighting against the gods, knights. The way that the story is going right now seems to hint at the fact that Loki is misunderstood and that there is much more to his story than meets the eye. The most probable outcome of the fight that Luffy and Loki will engage in Chapter 1143 is that, after a long and difficult duel for both of them, Luffy will understand Loki's backstory and will end the brawl. Although he is an incredibly silly character who can be outright stupid at times, Luffy has always been a great judge of character, and seeing how he felt the need to free Loki all this time, hints at the fact that the accursed prince is good too.